How's it going, guys? Vinny here, and today I'm going to be doing my Tribune Speech on coaching. Coaching has made a huge impact in my life throughout my sports career, from my first season of T-ball to my first season of golf here at GCC. But I've always found those coaches as the teachers outside of the classroom, except these teachers didn't assign homework. It was always enjoying to see these coaches where you got to practice and they had a big smile on your face, and so did you. That's when you know when the work began and you were going to have fun. But these coaches taught us a lot more than that. I like to think of coach's advice as the missing puzzle pieces. As you're rummaging through the box, you can usually build a border. That's your base. But those missing pieces, it becomes increasingly hard to find where they fit and how they're going to fit. But they always come at the right time. I like to think about that as coach's advice. As I move through life, I look back on those and see that those are the things that help me to push through. Coaches teach us principles, core values, and at most, the fun sports. And I like to think of those that usually those people that are much older are much wiser than you. And that's something that I've strived to learn as I've grown older. I've had a lot of good coaches, and I've had some that fall low the spectrum. But at the same time, I was able to take a lot of things from them, even in the negative. I've had one coach that had stuck with me for a while. We were in the championship game, and I was pitching the last inning. We were actually winning at the point, and there was a really good batter up. And I know he's been a good batter because he was a teammate of mine all the way through high school. Well, here's the moral of the story. He's up to bat, I'm pitching, and the catcher signals for me to intentionally walk him, which I'd never seen before, but I agreed with what he said. So I intentionally walked him, and then all went to heck loose from there. They called that a balk, and then guys walked. Then the guy was on third, he scored, now it's tied. I got frustrated, and I ended up throwing the game away. But that was something I took from there, that backing down is not always the right thing. You should always go with something with your heart. Though he didn't say that to me, I learned it through action. But I've had coaches also be verbally committed to our team. In my first season of Babe Ruth, it was a little bit scary. Bigger guys, bigger field, a lot to be intimidated by. But our coach was with us, and he said encouraging words. Though as we got through the season, you start to look at the other teams, and you're like, wow, they got a lot more talent than us. But that's not what our coach thought, and I remember he told us that too, right in that practice. A lot of people are going to think that they're better than you, but you can be better than anybody with hard work. And he taught us a lot of things. Though they went with big pitchers, big hitters, and beginning strong, we worked more on fundamentals. And that really came through in us, because I remember in that first game, we beat them, and it was a whole shock to everybody. But as we got to the championship game, who do you think we faced? Of course, them. But different outcome this time. We ended up losing, but my coach took it strong and took it to heart. He proved to us that with all the things going on in his life, how this didn't bother him. And I looked at him and said, well, that shouldn't bother us. That's how you can see a coach as a role model. And that's how I saw it. I like to think of coaches that they're there taking their time for us to be happy. We're there for fun. They're there to help us learn. Yeah, and I like to think I've had a lot of good coaches. I wanted to pitch, and one coach took the time with me to pitch. And that ended up being my position, throughout high school. And I'm glad he took that, because if it wasn't for him, I may have not found my love. You may think that those coaches are there just to keep us from screwing around, right? As you've probably had captain's practice throughout school. But those coaches are actually there to take their time to help us learn. It's their love of the sport the same as ours. They're just a bigger kid in a coach's uniform. I like to say, who exactly seeks out a coach? Winners who want more. And you can find a coach anybody. Your mom, your dad could be your coach. Anybody that can help you learn and develop good traits I say as a coach. And a coach has a lasting impact on your life. And I still remember that today, and that's why I want to coach. I want to grow and be a coach just like them so that I can help kids grow into great people like us. Thanks for watching, guys. Have a good one.